Welcome underneath my 2008 Lexus LX570. Today we're going to be changing the transfer case fluid. Here's the transfer case right here. We have to take this whole shield off. There's quite a few bolts here. There's one right there, one right here, one right there, another one, and then we have one underneath this little harmonic balancer. There's the one right there as well. So we got a lot of bolts to undo before we can actually get to the fluid itself. So let's get started. All right. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, that one was on there. So is that. Let's see about this one. Let's see about this one. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I can't get that one at all. Okay, one more there. So we got another one right there. I got this one. Let's see if I got this one. That one, that one. Okay, here's the extension. And we're gonna try this one instead. Okay, that was much easier. Okay. Got that one. Okay, they're different lengths, so this one up here is longer than this one. Okay, so this is another one of the shorter variety. Okay, that's the first part of this. So far the only different bolt was the one that went in the actual transfer case there. Another bolt right here. I'm doing this all left-handed, so it's all goofy. Finally. That's also of the longer variety bolt right there. Okay, these two guys right here, these two bolts are 14 millimeters. Actually not torqued down that much. Holy moly, this is just a big old weight. Thing is beefy. Oh man. Okay, let's just get to this 12 millimeter bolt. seems like a good candidate for the driver. Okay, so we've got, I think, one left, I believe. Or maybe two. We shall see. Yeah, maybe it is actually more than one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Holy moly. There's a bunch of them over here. So we got one shield off. Now we got to remove this whole transfer case protector. This whole thing. So there's bolts holding on top here. There's bolts holding on the middle, down below. So I got most of them, but I just got to keep going. And there's one right here, there's one right there, and there's one right there. We'll see. And I think there's still one right here on top. So let's see if that's it, or if there's more. Just keep on taking bolts off until this thing comes off. That one's gonna need a extension. No, 12mm box wrench. 12mm wrench. All right. Got this guy on top out there. Got that. That. So these are also of the longer variety. So any bolt that goes into the transfer case itself is going to be longer than the bolts that screw the one shield into the other. Okay. Next I have this guy right here. Okay, I'm just going to leave this guy a few threads in because it might be the last one. I don't want this thing falling on my face. Now we just need a crescent wrench to take that off. Okay, so got a box end wrench or crescent wrench. And this guy right here. Ah, Jesus Christ. Another longer one because it's right into the transfer case itself. There you go. So I think we just really hang on that one up here, but there is a wire clip up on here, so we should pull the wire clip off. Well, let me see what happens if I just drop this whole shield. Is there enough slack there? Okay, figure it out. All right, that's good. There's actually, on this clip, the piece you need to release is on top. So you pull this little tab away and then that should pop right off. So all that work was to expose this drain plug right here. This is the drain. This is the fill. That's ultimately what you're after. I could see mine for some reason. Maybe it was leaking a little bit, but it's kind of oily over here. And then this is the drain, looking nice and clean. So all that pain and suffering was just to expose the drain plug. Now we're gonna grab our 24mm socket. If we can break loose the fill first. Oh, that was nice and easy. Okay, good. Let's see, on the drain. Oh, nice and easy. Thank the Lord. Okay, now we'll get a drain pan and drain the transfer case fluid. Okay. First, we're gonna take the fill plug out, relieve the vacuum, and now we could take the drain plug out as well. Okay, so the transfer case fluid is way dirtier than the differential fluid that I had changed in the other videos. So, I guess it's good that we're changing it. Probably 30-some thousand miles on this fluid. Okay, so we're gonna let this drain, and I'll be back with you. Okay, while that's dripping, we're gonna do some cleanup. I also want to mention that you do want to replace the gaskets for both the drain and the fill plug. These are just aluminum kind of crush washers, and you definitely want to replace those because if you get a leak here, it's not fun. As you can see, take all the stuff off to get here. Okay, so while the drain is dripping, I'm gonna just clean up. It looks like it was leaking a little bit out of the fill or somewhere else. I don't know exactly, but there's definitely a good amount. Well, I shouldn't say good amount, but there's some oil here. It might be just grease out of the drive shaft that's being slung or something. I don't know. It's definitely another project that should be tackled is greasing the drive shaft Zerk fittings, and that one's a little challenging because this has the hydraulic suspension that goes up and down, and so that can and just the suspension travel itself will just compress the drive shaft, and you can overfill and create issues. So we'll tackle that one at some point maybe. Okay, we'll let this continue dripping and be back with you in a bit. Okay, the drip has slowed to a crawl here, so we're going to install a new gasket on our drain plug, and we're going to put the drain plug back in. Now we can move our drain pan a little bit out of the way, and we're gonna just tighten this a little bit so it's no risk of leaking. I'm not gonna torque it just yet. And now we're ready to fill. To fill, we're gonna use Redline oil, and this one is 75 W90 NS is the one that I'm going with. This is synthetic oil from Redline. We're gonna fill this until basically fluid starts dripping out of the fill hole. Okay, so the fluid level should be 5 millimeters to even with the fill hole, and so we're gonna fill it until we see fluid coming out. It does recommend to fill it until you see coming out, wait a little bit, and then see if the fluid level changes. So I don't know if there's like slow passages in there it's got to get into, but you should fill slowly in the transfer case. That's what the recommendation is from Lexus. So we're gonna get a transfer pump, and we're gonna start pumping it right in here. Okay. There we go, start pumping. Last time I filled this with just Mobil 1, regular gear oil, 75 W90 also, I think, but it did not seem to really like that. Maybe it's because I'm not using low range enough, but if you don't put it in low range often, it'll just have a hard time going in and out. And that's what was happening to me, but hopefully with this red line, it should perform a little better. All right. Get a new bottle here. Transfer our pump and keep going. I'm starting to see some drippage out of there. Let's see. And I'm gonna put that fill plug in there. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna pull the fill plug back out, and if it's still dripping fluid out, then I know my level is good. Okay, that should have been good enough for that level to settle there. Let's see if anything is coming out. Woo, a lot. Yep. Yeah. Come on. Okay. We are good. Okay, we're gonna tighten this up a little bit, make sure there's no leaks, and now we'll get all this stuff out of the way, and put everything back together. Gonna grab an adapter to go from my 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Put my 24mm socket on and set this torque wrench to 27 foot-pounds, which is 37 Newton meters. Okay. That's torque. Let's go slightly over torque because I didn't like that it was leaking last time, and then I'm still seeing a little bit of wetness. Give it another minute here. See if anything's seeping out. Okay, I think we're good to start hanging the shields back here. So we will start with this bad boy here. And these two arms go towards the back of so-ish. Here we go. Okay, got it. Take one of the longer bolts and put it up here. So let this thing hang a little bit. Okay. Take another longer bolt, put it right here, keeping everything nice and loose for now. Take another longer one, and I'll go up in the arms up here. Take another longer one, go in the other arm up here. And the nice thing about working at Japanese cars, everything just lines up so nice. Okay, so I got the two up there. Now I'm gonna take this ground wire and I'm gonna put the clip back in its spot on top of it. Make sure it's tight. Okay. Now I have another longer, and I'm gonna go in the back here. Everything that goes in the transfer case, once again, is a longer bolt. There we go. And you are going into aluminum, so try to not cross-thread them. So it's 1, 2 up there, 2, 3 over here, 4. Let's give me another one right here. That'll be number 5. Okay, so that's number 5. The torque is 14 Newton meters and 10 foot-pounds on these bolts right here, 12 millimeter. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to torque all of them, but the ones that I can. Okay, so that's really not much torque at all. The rest I'll do by hand just because of these awkward angles in my long wrench. All right, so the rest of these are going to be torqued by hand, and it's not a lot of torque. It is only 10 foot-pounds. Okay, that's that one. That's that one. That's that one. Okay. The only bolt that we didn't torque is the one that needs the box end wrench, which is this guy right here. Okay. That one's good. Now we're ready for the shield. And the shield goes on like this. Like that. And we got mostly shorter bolts here. Put a couple in so this thing's hanging. One, two, three. Okay. Got four right here, and I have another screw that I need to figure out what I missed. Is there one up here on the back? Ah, yes. I missed a little screw on the back of the lower one right here. Okay. Get rid of the extension. Try to do this lefty. Šta? Da. Okay. And this last long one goes all the way up here. Into the transfer case. I'm gonna torque all these down. And they're torqued a little bit higher. Their torque value is 30 Newton meters, 22 foot-pounds. So almost double the ones that went into the transfer case. Okay. Let's torque this one. Torque this one. I'll torque this one up here. Yep. Okay. Solid. Now we can put this harmonic balancer in, and you'll know it's got this notch on the one side, and that notch goes over this bolt right here. So okay. And these guys are 12 Newton meters or 9 foot-pounds. So very lightly torqued. And these are 14 millimeter bolts. Let's get the torque wrench. Set it to 9 foot-pounds. Okay. That is it for the transfer case gear oil. We are all put back together and we're done. All right, gonna take this bad boy for a test ride, see how it feels. It's feeling pretty smooth right now, and yeah, feels nice. Now with the old Mobile One transfer case fluid, there was actually having problems going into low gear and back out. So let's try that right now. Just stop here, and then you can see on the dash, try to go neutral. There it goes. Okay, so now we're in 4 low. Stop. No, we'll go a little bit. Of course, this truck is full-time 4-wheel drive, so it's just high and low options. Okay, I'll come to stop. Go back to 4 high. Put in neutral. And there it goes. So that is actually better performance than what it was before. Before it would have a lot of problems. Last time I really tried to test this was in the winter though, and but after a drive, and it just would not want to go into low range. So now it seems to be working. We'll see how it does in the winter, but for now I'm pretty happy. It's feeling smooth. We're gonna do a little run, highway run as well, and see if that works out pretty good. So for now, maybe it's just a mental thing, but it's feeling smoother and quieter actually to me. So that's good.